Okay. Okay, no exit enough. I duplicate it and I okay. You select your game manager, and here we have a network manager. Here in the spawn info, you set it to round.
So another question for Hilo.
Yeah.
So I got the 3 spawn points. I got it set to round robin, but the tank always spawns at the same one.
Yeah, are your spawn points above the ground?
Oh, no. We don't do much. Okay. If it's not a local player, don't run that script. So when I move forward, the gray. So it comes in with the programmers, and the programmers say, no, it's round up. When the others, no, you guys don't understand what reading is. So then back and forward. So it's not fun. Okay. So when we have it, I'm going to recap what I did. I select the tank, the rank deep prefab. If you launch a game, let me know and please send it to me because I can buy all the games and expenses to the company.
I'm able to move the other tank as long as oh,
So you malfunction.
no, I'm using all the tanks.
You should do it now. Yeah, because it's called the actual thing. Push shoots the tank everywhere.
Yeah.
Everything everywhere.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because the Goldberg machine goes off and they can see where the process is. Pointless story.
So we have right.
Okay, great.
So we went heavily after it.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, and then we did it again. And then we put because for us, for Unity it's not bad, but for the people who create the assets so packages.
Yeah, because they're not getting
And then another guy we caught was he was buying all asset stock packages and selling it on other stores.
I saw some dude selling stuff on Mixer Mode. I was like, I knew you didn't make that.
Yeah. Okay, you want to continue? Who's selling on the asset? Who's selling on the asset store? Awesome. What are you selling? I can see it. Nice. You making some money on it?
A little bit. Everybody says it's too cheap though. Charging $5 for it.
For a first shader, you should do more.
Yeah.
Because the most difficult thing for us to hire and to find people is people who write shaders. It's the most difficult thing.
I need a job.
Do you know we have more than 150 openings or 200 openings? Okay.
Yeah, I feel running. You
should just share more of that. We're just cheers. We're down. I just need to build this kind of stuff.
de chef even stuk daar, dus voor ze dat few seconds. Okay. For the people on the other island, everything okay?
We only got postcards where you were showing how to match that little point so you could see where the tank is in its base. But it's, you know, like at some point you show, you know, where the transform is, and you say change from this label to this little thing, and then when it goes underground, you can see it's underground.
Yes.
What was that?
Here, sure. Is it this you're talking about? This one here?
Yes.
Okay, and you're wondering how to add this, that change the things here? Is it the icon you're wondering how to do?
What was that?
Are you wondering how to change the icon?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes, thank you, that's it.
so you click on this, and then you click one of, so you click on that cube, and then you can select what you want. Click. Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Okay, let's continue. Let's sync the transform. So when I move forward, that is on all the other clients moving forward to the tank. Okay? So I'm gonna go to my tank, and it's super simple. Add component, network, fitting, a network transform. We're gonna sync the transformation, the position, the rotations of the object. Okay. Who's using like state machines or animator? Okay. If you use that, the only thing you have to do is here, network sync in animator. Yeah. Because I was starting to write it myself until one day, Carl, have you looked up? No. Oh yeah. Because I was looking in the documentation, what would be more costly? Is it sending the state positions or the booleans or the inputs? So I was looking and then, no. It's just a component. So I can do a network transform, and it's really awesome here. Why? And I explain it. First, you have here how many network send rate you can send. Okay? Now, let me explain this a little bit. Because on my local player, if I drive forward, it's very smooth. But if I send 9 packages per second, that means tuk, jumps here, jumps here, jumps here. You have an interval of the tank on the other servers. If you use a network component, the lerping is automatically taken care of. You don't have to script it. Pretty cool, huh? No. Here. What's that?
Oh,
Keep
I'm
saying
sorry.
yeah.
You think you're saying no, I'm sorry. You're like, pretty cool, and you go, no.
I'm saying now, I'm sorry.
And if there's things in Unity I don't like, I'm very open about it too. Trust me. Because if you have worked a lot in Unity, you're going to understand that's the prefab problem. And then one year we had a crowd of 1,000 people sitting in front of us, and 2 of the head engineers stood up on the stage. Any questions? And I grabbed the microphone, nested prefab, and I walked away. Ooh, they were not too happy about that one because they had the program and they were too late. Yes. So what we're going to do is here. That's what you can do. You can say, what are you going to sync? The rigid body, the 2D rigid body, just the position and rotation, and if you use a character controller. Automatically you can pick what you want. And it tries to find which one it is. Now our object has a rigid body attached to it. You will sync the rigid body. The physics. Look, I can sync all the rotations if I want. But what I'm going to try to do is only sync the rotation of the tank. Because in my game, if I have my tank here, I'm not going to do this with my tank. Okay? And I'm not going to do this because it's flat. It's only rotating in the Y. Okay? So, in my tank prefab, Here I'm going to say only the Y. Okay? No. We have the interpolate rotation factor. I tested it myself and I put it to 13. Why? Because when I rotate actually pretty fast, so I want to send the interpolation very fast. But in order to save data always, it doesn't have to be so precise accurate. So what can I do? I can actually do a little bit compensation, compress on the rotation, high or low, on that. I use none at the moment, but you can do that to really compress the data too. Okay, now look at this. I'm going to save this now. File, build and run. Let's play. Let's play. And the host, client. Okay, and now, look, if I drive, it moves forward correctly. Woo, and I rotate. Look at that. Hello. I can't shoot yet. Don't worry, we will make that. Okay. And if I go to here, then I can play with this tank. Woohoo! See? All nicely works. So you see how fast just using components to have networking game working. And after this step, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna start then. I think it's shooting. I'll just check here what it is. Transformation. I know we're gonna do something complicated, but don't worry about that. Okay. So super simple. You take your tank. You add a network transform to it, and you put it to the Y, and let me repeat this, the rotation interpolation, the rotation, not movement, rotation is 13. Because some people change all those values here, and that looks weird. Yeah, of course. Okay, so I'm going to quickly set my PowerPoint here. Okay. And there it is. Okay. You gonna do this?
No, the version of like it done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Yeah, of course. You can go use you can do transformation, and then start the simulations, and then you can start to see all your work. All those things in the text that you can really do.
I'm running plans. You don't want to have plans. Yeah, both of our computers are plans. So you have a lot of run some numbers. That's one of the things. Yeah. I'll put a timer so you get 30 Sorry, I have a question.
No.
So I was just curious. I'm kind of a networking guy, so I'm looking at the Wireshark. Yeah, sure.
And then send an email to me. I know exactly what to do after. Because I talked to her a couple of times.
Okay.
Because when I wrote, I had that on the networking game before, and I did something.
Oh, okay.
And I really
You gotta look at it, show it to, he made this ground for using the guy shit.
Yeah, it's a take for you know.
No
Yeah,
way.
I'll make the
Yeah, I had a little bit experience from this because I did contract for Half-Life 2.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I learned a little bit about. I will never be network. Give me the components, make it right for me. I'm not gonna do it.
This is interesting protocol on top of the No, of course you don't. Well, if you're doing all games, you can't send this meeting data to folks who see it's not going to wait for response. You don't wait for the response from the server to confirm that, yes, I know that you want to go to that. You just
Yes,
send
you
the
gotta fix
server,
that.
and the server sends back, okay.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's everybody else. So there are different ways you can play it. There are client.
Okay, does it work for everybody?
With a client sitting there. Server, server. It is. There are things when you know it on this bar.
Okay, here it is. It's a bit slow. Machines.
Now I can't start.
Okay. Let's continue, okay? So now I'm gonna show for the one component. I'm gonna show a step that it can actually go override all the components and go really in deep in the code if you want. If you're gonna use high-level APIs, okay. But if you want to go like crazy deep in it, here's one step. Okay, here. What I want to show is that I have my component here from Network Manager. That actually you can override that and make your own one. Okay. Of course, this becomes very complicated when you want to start to do that. But I just want to show the power. Okay. What I did was I made a script, and instead of a mono behavior, I created a network manager. Look here, I'm going to show you. I have a script. Network manager camera. I'm going to open this. Okay. And here we can see it's a network manager. See? So I use the word network manager and I put it here. Then I can start to override everything in there or add things to it. Okay. What I did in that network script, and here we can see what I can use and all. Okay? Because that script, anything that you see in those components is scriptable and totally overridable. So, on time start, on start host, on stop client. See, I'm using all those things now that you use in buttons or in the list, but I can override everything this. What I'm basically doing here is this. I'm going to say the scene camera. So what I have here, look. In my scene, I have a main camera. Okay. When I press play, okay, what I'm going to do is press play command. What's going on here? Why is my computer? Okay. When I'm here, my camera will rotate in the scene just as to show the level here. When the moment I play the host, I will stop the rotation of the camera. Make sense? What am I going to show you? I'm going to take here my go, and I'm going to go here. Look here. So here my network manager, that's a script here. I'm going to override it. Okay, how do I do that? I take my, where is it now? Network manager camera, I drag it into that slot here. Okay? Drag it in. So now you can see here I overrode a few things because I added here a public variable for the scene camera. And I'm going to drag here the main camera in there. So, And here in the script I can show you. Okay. Here I have a function update that I'm gonna rotate my camera around my scene. Okay. But the moment that I basically gonna start the game, I put it to false, so this cannot rotate anymore. Shall we now? Let's play. See, my camera rotates now, you see that? But the moment I press one of those buttons, click, the camera is not rotating anymore, it follows the tank. So that's to show just that those components, you can totally override them and do what you want with that. Okay? So, what did I do? I select my Go, my game manager, and I take my script here, game network manager camera, and I drag it here in the slot of where the script is, that network manager script. Then I take my main camera and I drag it in the open property of scene camera. Okay? And of course I press save, that always helps. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can do it. Show the PowerPoint. Okay, here it is. So replace the network manager script with the network manager camera control, and drag it to the scene camera.
Where would we start at? Like, what was the initial?
Here.
Oh, so the top and see.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, you digging to go, man? Right there, hey. Oh, sorry, you gotta put the PowerPoint back up.
No, to start.
Yeah, so just change it. I'll take it.
Four sevens, 2 successes.
Oh, 2 2. I like it a little faster. You guys already turned on. Just change the look. No, yeah. But he already turned on fire.
Oh yeah, you want to continue?
Yep.
Yeah. So, the next step is we're gonna start to shoot. Okay. First, we're gonna show how we do it regularly. Okay, without networking, and then we're gonna convert it to networking. Because the networking for shooting is a little bit more complicated. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go to my assets, to my prefab, and go to my tank. Okay. and I add a component, a script, and I have a script there, tank shooting. Okay, click on it. I'm going to open that script. Or I can maybe just show that part and then we can do I'm going to show that part, explain that, and then we're going to do together the networking right away. Is okay? Okay. So here you can see it's a mono behavior. Use a power. Okay, the float power. And what I do is here, I use a function reset. Right? So maybe you've never seen that, but this the reset method. Let's use run slow code. It's like find in the editor where the performance impact won't be affect the plays at runtime. So I just want to find the gun barrel, and the gun barrel is an object in here. So when I have my tank, my prefab tank here, my tank has an object here in front of it, gun barrel. Here. Okay? And that's where when I click, I'm going to spawn my bullet. Okay? So here, function update. If I click the fire button or the jump button, the jump button because for mobile, and pressing the screen is a jump button, then I will instantiate the bullet at the position and the rotation of the gun barrel. And that object I will add force. Remember, I'm going to add a force, and later on I'm going to use velocity and multiplayer later on. Okay. I think that's pretty simple code. If you're familiar with Unity, makes sense, I think? Yeah. For one person makes sense, the rest is like, okay. So, my tank, I'm gonna add that script to it, and it automatically finds the gun barrel here. I don't have to drag and drop in it because I reset one. Now my shell prefab, I have a prefab here shell. I'm gonna drag it in there. What's like that? Shell here, I'm gonna drag it in here, and that's this. Okay? And there's a few elements to it. There's an here. There's a particle system attached to it. Simulate, see? And that object, okay, has a script attached to it. The shell controller, it's a very simple one basically. Okay. If it collides with something, be able to disable that object, play the particles, okay, and if I later on going to hit a player, like a tank, then I can deduct the health. But we're not going to focus on that now. Right now it's just here. I find the particle system, find the mesh render, and when you shoot it randomly, what time is this? Maximum 2 seconds to live, and then it disappears. Make sense? Yeah? Okay. That all works then, look here. When I press play, and I host it and I drive, and I press spacebar, I have the bullets going out. When they hit an object, it gets destroyed, and a particle system plays. Super simple. Okay. But that does not work in multiplayer. Okay. So if I would build and run that now, you're going to see just the local one and not on the server. The other ones will not shoot. No. If I press play, shoot, all the tanks in my game will shoot in that local client.
Same thing with the movie, right?
What's that?
It's the same thing with the movie, right?
Yeah, check your rendering.
Yeah, but this becomes a little bit more complicated. Okay. So, what are we going to do with that? Okay, I'm going to show you for multiplayer. First, I'm just going to look here what I wrote down because I don't want to screw it all up. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go to my tank. And my tank I'm gonna get into the script. I'm gonna remove that one. I'm gonna add script tank shooting network. Okay. I'm gonna drag and drop my shell prefab in there. Okay. Just make sure because sometimes I teach in different ways. Okay, yeah. And my shell. What was that? No possible. Prefab. Okay. I will need also, because it spawns on the network, anything that spawns needs what? Network identity. So I'm going to add a network identity to it. Okay. You might think, hey, it's local player or authority like my player. No. Why not?
You don't want the players to spawn shells wherever they want.
Okay. But also the reason why I do it is this. I'm gonna have the server control the bullets, so I cannot cheat.
Yeah.
Because if I do locally, then I can't start to cheat. And I see those three guys at the back. Those are the three ones who are gonna cheat right away. So, and of course, I'm not gonna do server only because that means if it only spawns on the server, it will never come on the local clients. Okay, remove that. Okay, now my tank here itself, I have the script, I have the shell attached to it. Okay, no, when I press play here, okay, host it now. I should have works, okay, but let's do build and run. File, build and run. Display. Here. Display. Okay. Host the LAN. Client. Okay. Now when I'm gonna have to also explain the script. When I shoot here, I shoot here. But it doesn't shoot here. If I go to here and I click, it still shoots there. Because that's the server. Okay. I'm gonna explain that what. We're going to only shoot at the server at the moment. I mean, not sending a command. We don't allow it yet to shoot on the local client. Okay. Close this. Let me explain the script. Okay. That was a script that we used if it was no networking. With this networking, we use this script. It's a bit more. Don't worry. First of all, I added also my Unity engine networking to it. I added also network behavior to it instead of a mono behavior. Here's the same. I didn't use force, I used velocity. I'm going to explain that later on. So reset. I find the gun barrel. And here's important, of course. If this is not a local player, return. So that means if I shoot, then I only shoot with the local player. But you see that the shooting only happened on the server. Make sense? You saw when I shoot, it only shoot in the server, the local client didn't shoot. Okay, how was that? Okay, no, here. When I press the fire button, instead of saying shoot, I use CMD. Command. You have to use CMD. Some people say, no, Carl, you can actually write. What do you want? No. I tried it myself. I didn't believe it myself. So I finally had to admit, you have to use CMD. Okay. CMD is really explained here also. What happens now? When I press the shoot button in my local player, I don't shoot in my local player. CMD means command. I will actually say, send the command from my client to my server and run it on the server. And the server will then instantiate the object. So the server instantiates it. And then I give it a velocity. And later on I can explain why velocity versus force. But then here the magic happens. Network server dot spawn. Spawn it over all the network now. So in that way, the server is in command and spawn it now. But you saw when I pressed shooting that it only played on the server and it didn't spawn on the network. And next step, we're gonna fix that. There's a little trick. Okay. So, what you're gonna do is really simple. Okay. Is this. You're gonna go to your prefab. Tank. You add a component. Tank controller underscore net. No, Carl, pay attention. Tank shooting underscore net. Drag and drop your shell in there. Okay. And your shell, the prefab shell, needs a network identity because you're gonna spawn it on the network. Make sense? So here my PowerPoint. Oh yeah, we're gonna, no, it's this one. Yeah. So instead of replacing the shooting script, you're gonna add the tank shooting net version. You're gonna add a network identity to the shell, and you're gonna add the shell to the spawnable objects in a network manager. Did I tell you that's okay. Add the shell prefab. Network manager. Add the shell. Okay, I'm gonna show it right away because I wrote it here. Okay. The reason when I press play is this. When you press play and you shoot it, you see it here because that's the server. When I create a client, the client doesn't see it. In code you say, send the object to all the clients. But there's one thing you have to do in Unity is list all the objects that can spawn in the game. You have to register them. You have to make a list of all possible objects that can spawn. So how you do that, here in my network manager here, spawn info, register, spawnable prefab. This one is registered, the tank, because you spawn the tank. But every object that you spawn, you're going to prefab register to. So you're going to do plus here. And which object will you drag and drop in there?
Shell.
The shell. So I take the shell, and I'm going to drag it into there too. When you press no play, built-in run, and you play, you're going to show what's going to happen. Built-in run, because I wanted to see all the problems. Now when you see a problem, you're going to know why. Okay. So, okay, let's play. Okay. Host lab, client. Okay. Now when I shoot, you see it's shooting here. Now what happens there? Let's go see. Okay. Let's go in the front. Let's see if we can see it better. Yeah, okay here. So, and this, okay, here. You see when I shoot, it comes out. But here, it falls out. Okay? That's what we're going to fix. That when I shoot it later on, that it also has the same velocity. We're going to fix that. Okay. So right now, what you do is, you go to your prefab, tank, you add tank shooting network, you drag and drop your shell prefab in there, you go to your shell prefab, you add a network identity to it, and you add it to your register spawnable objects. And you go to your network manager, and in there, your register spawnable prefabs, and you open that, register spawnable prefabs, you drag and drop your shell in there. So here is, so add the networking, tank networking, network identity to the shell, add the shell prefab to the spawnable register prefab, and also here add the shell to the tank shooting script in the the thing. And the prefab of shell prefab. Okay, is it clear or? Does it make sense? Okay, I know this is becoming complicated. That's a bit networking. The nature of networking is not the most easy thing in the world.
So why did that fall out? Why are we talking about?
So I'm going to explain it very soon, but what happens is on the server, right? On the MSA, go to the pool all the clients, let's follow the speed. When it comes out there,
I don't know what that
it
means.
doesn't know because you never have to see it.
Oh.
It's just like sync transport.
Yeah, I can see it.
But it never goes more complicated. I'm going to explain you what the trick is, or you don't have to do the same transport. Yeah. I would just change the big open.
That's what takes about half an hour, so.
Now my computer's working.
MSI? Yeah. Whoa! Sorry.
Every time I build a run, I have to reset the size of
Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
Still.
And then you can also, you don't show the blind allowed.
No, it didn't. That's what I'm trying.
Because you don't
That's what I
who's coming Saturday for the VR? Who has already applied? Which one? Ladies?
Whatever we have here.
Okay. You have the touches? I got them.
Oh, yeah.
What do we need to bribe you with?
It's a nightmare to get them.
I know.
It really missed the boat. I guess I better look at the bottom of the It's like 10 minutes.
We could actually have
I have 2 of these. So I need one
This? Yeah, that will be right. Okay. Yeah.
Can we take a break?
No, this is not allowed. Yeah, you want to take a break of 10 minutes? Or okay. Well, Hilo cannot take a break, but Hiro can take a break. Is it okay? I'm just kidding. If I had known, I would have flown over to the big island. I love it. It's beautiful. Yeah.
There's a large community that wants to do this.
One time I just stumbled it sounds like so just throw them off the next day. Oh, no, this is apparently. No, it's like it's weird. It's just a big. Just do it that way. You know, right?
This is all I got.
Oh, that's why you never get mad when you ask me. It's like, no, I love it.
No, as long as it's used out. And you don't have it's adding it back. She put some button there.
Oh, there it is.
You have you have even a hole in this here. Oh my God! How do you manage that from the hole in this? How do you manage to get a hole in this? Wow!
You tried to
Yeah. I did I gotta tell you a funny story. I did the press opening for Microsoft Windows. But the night before, I was in the hotel, I give all my laundry to the hotel. The only thing I had was a PJ pants. In the morning I called, where's my laundry? I don't find it. But I have to go to the big opening of the press, opening the first element of the press. So I called all over around. Nobody asked me. I really didn't come. There's no stores open. They open up the presses at 8 a.m. So I leave to the conference. I arrived there, and my thing sees me. What are you doing? I told them the whole marketing thing. It's all young girls. But I don't have a t-shirt on. So finally somebody finds a jacket. I took the jacket off, it only goes to here. So out of my chest, you know. So I said, listen, Max, I'm gonna go on stage, but I can sit down and before the press comes in. So I sit there and I talk to the press fully sitting. And everybody
also like
I'm normally never sit. Why don't you walk around? And all the press leaves and I stand up. And then they see me with PJ pants. Hey, with no teeth. And I go, oh my God. No shoes. Yeah. And Microsoft is doing its own nice corporate in some ways. I learned my lesson.
like medical, like Kim Khan, Abby.
Oh, okay. So what I'm gonna do at 4 o'clock, I'm gonna give a link on that, and everybody can fill out something, and then they're gonna open it, give a link on those to download the movie file and the PowerPoint.
Everything almost.
Yeah, and it's really nice to record it, step by step, like how I teach it, but then nicely you do it in one shot.
Yeah, kind of.
It's okay?
I am accepting him.
Okay. Okay. Text. Oh, sorry. Just like. No, I know.
Yeah.
It's all correct.
So you see, you're seeing the point.
So you have the mesh,
Yeah.
and then you put like noise, and then the noise basically makes.
Well, the jump is in the.
It's pretty straightforward.
In
Straightforward, but nobody.
No,
Someone that made it.
I get what you're saying.
And then this is giving it off. Yeah, but also you have another jump.
Yeah.
Jump here, and that should be then joystick number 3. Yeah. Okay. Explain.
So he didn't talk too much like fix it.
Oh, thanks. Don't know where that. No. You are.
That's the reaction.
Okay, thank you.
Ah, we did it so hard.
It's like I've never done the marketing stuff in my head. This is rigged. This is yeah, this is making the stuff that makes it.
Good, but I don't know if I remember.
Also,
So I don't remember.
We just got unassociated with that.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I was just like, buddy, I believe in the number 2, and so 1, and all those other 3. I left there at home today. You're on paper? Yeah,
Yeah.
This is so I don't got it, but you know what I mean. Later on, I think later on, you think about it. Good.
I don't have to think about it.
So you take like producer, like
Sometimes everything opens speed up. I can't go.
It's just a
It's
minute.
so sweet. 2 days ago.
No, that's when you ask yourself, how many cards are this like this? I had to stick to it. I looked at all my cards and I was like, which one can I just not see the trick? I will sacrifice that one. I'll turn that one. Maybe I have time to do it. What is that one doing? I basically did this. I pulled all the list for probably something I would think about time. But then I was like, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna leave it. I don't care anymore. This is my lockdown now.
Like a really simple 2D. Yeah.
The Holy Grail.
Well, no, but I got not that. It's like where I'm at this point.
This was like a while back, and this stuff I think we were so they were saying you could.
Okay, in a few minutes we start then. Was it, for who was it interesting so far? Was it interesting?
Yeah.
Okay. I know for this is a course for beginners it's hard. But Saturday, if you come Saturday, it's really it's about making a VR game. And then we're going to talk about best practices also. And also like how you do the buttons and all things that works better for VR. And I also want to give a half-hour lecture on how do you create VR when you put it on and you feel 3D. Okay. I did my master's in virtual reality, and in the past and I did architecture. And then it's when you learn, like, a lot of people think that VR is because you have two eyes. It's true. But 80% of your viewing, of understanding depth, is in one eye. So 2 eyes really bring little to it, to understand it. That's what I'm going to explain. I should take a spatula. Yeah, let's get to next week. I know.
You have to take a deck. Like when I was applying for to look at it, I don't take a deck. You can't see deck. I know. Yeah. I like made it.
There's only 2 pieces of road. I went for 2 weeks of transformation. It's just 2 weeks ago. But how I way more but I want to use it. We don't get this. Because it's higher. I used to appreciate it in school, and I used to own that's 8 years ago. 8 years ago right now. So you want to get on all those things. I want to see back and see everyone else.
I don't want to take notes on
This is a project we're working on at work for health, training health. So, no, I'm totally joking.
Basically,
The blood's there, it's the right color, so we're okay.
yeah, it's like playing
No, it doesn't. Yeah. You know, because we went through the same training. We actually found the JavaScript that makes it stop playing and turn it off. So we just let it play in the background. And it's still similarly good.
To not make the most crude, like, testing. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so we get that.
See, that's the only one I know. Well, okay, I'm using one to
Say that you can't drink water.
Unless it's like you get on, I want to be independent. I want to know. I don't have much time to do it. I remember yelling at you.
like professional.
To do these things. You signed it, right?
Today.
All right.
Okay. Wait, yeah. Let's continue now. Okay. So the problem was when I shoot, it shows up on the server. In the local client, it's to, but it falls. It doesn't shoot forward. Same thing as moving the tank. We're gonna add the transform to it, that they both move. Okay, but what becomes a little bit more interesting. I'm gonna go to my shell, okay, and I can add here network transform. I could say, okay, I'm going to put it as much as possible because at the bullet goes fast, we send it all the data over. But actually, what I'm going to do, go to 0. Okay. This will sync the transfer. Transfer means also the initial velocity. Okay, here in my tank, in my script of shooting, okay, here I used add force. Add force is not synced before the frame, it's just synced after the first frame. Okay. Here in the networking, I'm going to use velocity, and velocity is synced before the frame. Okay. Maybe I'll explain it for you. When I shoot in networking, the moment the bullet comes out, you could have said sync the positions. So when it moves in the server, it's going to move in the client and they're going to send the information. But that's a lot of data that we don't need to send actually, because what we do is this. The bullet is born on the frame, but just before it starts, I say with the sync transform, when it comes in, sync the velocity, send over. They have the same philosophy, they fly. They don't have to sync anymore. Our physics is actually I say in English.
Determinants.
Yeah, it's not deterministic actually, but for that you're not going to see the differences. So it just syncs the velocity because I do the sync transform. The initial frame, just before it starts, it syncs the velocity, and that's why the balls will work perfectly without having to send real data. Make sense? If I would have used the add force, then I wouldn't have that, because the syncing happens after the frame, and then it cannot happen anymore. Okay? This is going a little bit deeper. Okay? I love those things. Okay. So, there's one other thing we have to change. I'm gonna go to my shell. Okay. And the shell controller here. This, I have to make it also for networking. So, I'm going to remove that script. I'm going to add a script. Shell controller network. Click. I'm just going to quickly open that and explain that also, that script. So it's basically the same. A few little things. One, I add again my networking to it. Change it from mono behavior to networking. But here, I do a server call back. What does that mean? When I type this, that this function, that this will only run on the server. It will not run on the local client. Because it starts on the server and I'm going to determine how long it lives. I don't want to do it on all the clients. Because if it's differences, it becomes difficult. If it's cheating, it becomes difficult. So I run pure on the client, on the server. But then I use here network server.destroy game object. When after a certain time I want to destroy it, then my server will send it to all my clients to say destroy that node.
So you have to do put server callback before
Yeah.
each function that you want the server to run?
Yes. Good question. I paid him to ask him that. Okay.
The server callback apply with the update function?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's it.
So here then on collision enter, later on we're gonna get here in that match, and then the health of the tank. We're not gonna get into that yet now. Okay. So same scene, file. Okay, let's make sure that I don't have one.
Can you have a second version of update that doesn't have that that annotation? Can you have an update that doesn't have the server callback?
But it's only used for networking that when you want to pure run it on the server.
Okay.
Okay.
Could you write a second function called update that doesn't have that server callback?
Yes.
Okay.
So, let me think here now. Okay. So what you do is you're gonna go to your prefab. I forgot what I did. You're gonna go to your shell. You're gonna add a network transform to it, and you're gonna put it to 0. Okay. And you're gonna replace the script of shell controller with shell controller underscore net. Okay. Okay, you're gonna do that, and right here, replace the shell controller script with the shell controller net, add a network transform to the shell prefab, and set the send rate to 0. Okay. Then we're gonna do matchmaking, and then from matchmaking we're gonna be able to kill each other. Don't forget I have everything of this recorded, so you can do it now. So, and never sending, but it syncs, because you set it to 0, it will sync the initial frame. And in that frame, you sync the velocity.
And then the client takes over and does the physics for you.
Yes.
You don't need to calculate and send it to the server and waste the package.
Yes. It is just a trick I want to show you how we can start to think of reducing as much as possible sending information.
Yeah, so then both the clients are just keeping track of it. Once the server says the shell is spawned, then the client takes it. Yeah, the client's like, right, physics. Yeah, I got it.
If you come Saturday, I will not go in deep like that, things like that, but it will be all about best practices for VR. So if you begin with that, Saturday is really awesome to come. You coming? From 10 to 3, I think, or something. No? Where are you from? Russia. Oh, right, okay. Because I just picked up a little bit, I could not say it, Chris. I go sometimes for Unity.
So on Saturday, you don't get any virtual reality?
Yes. Okay, does that work for everybody? For the people at high-low, also okay? Yeah? Okay, let's continue. Okay, with the fun stuff. So, right now, we can play a game with 2 players, okay, against each other, or multiple people, like 10 people, 100 people, you want. But you all have to be on the same network at the moment. It's a local host. What if you want to play somebody from, say, from Russia with somebody from Hawaii? Okay? You're not on the same network, how are you going to do that? And that's what we're going to talk about matchmaking. Okay? And that's what we're going to do. So first we're going to start the conversion process to matchmaking, and we're going to do it in 2 steps. Okay? Step 1, set up the scene, set up the build settings, set up the scenes, and then afterwards we're going to do components. Okay. So first step, I will need 2 scenes. I will need a scene where I can do the matchmaking. Matchmaking is that they can find each other, and then a scene to play. So, in this scene, I don't need any more. So I'm going to file, save scene as, and I'm going to save it as a matchmaking game. Okay? And I'm going to delete hold the game, hold the networking. Delete that. So I'm going to save that. So I have a scene with just, wait a second. We have a scene just with the artwork, the camera, and the spawning points. I deleted all the mechanics for the networking. Okay. Now we're going to create a new scene. And I'm going to save that as, I'm going to save it as lobby. Save it as the lobby. Okay, the lobby is where we can do the matchmaking. Okay. So now here in my scenes, you're going to see I have, I know what I say. Okay, I have my lobby and the matchmaking game. Okay, my tanks game. Later on, when I press build and run, I want to make sure that my lobby starts first. And then my matchmaking scene is loaded. So in my build settings, file, build settings, here, I remove the starting scene. I drag and drop first my lobby scene in there. And then I drag out a matchmaking game in there. So you can see, this is called 0. That means when I do build and run, it will first start my lobby, and then it will do my matchmaking game. Now I'm going to open here my lobby. Okay, my lobby. I'm going to consider that as a mini game, where I'm going to start to play and can find other people to play too. My time game will also be a game, but here in the lobby I need a lobby player, what we call. Okay? And we're going to make it somebody that represents me in this scene, where I can find other people. And then I'm going to connect my lobby player to my tank, convert my lobby player to a tank. Okay. How do I make a lobby player? Some people in a lot of tutorials, they show a prefab, but there's no prefab in Unity. So I prefer to show how you make it. Okay. How do I make the prefab? I create an empty object. I'm going to call it lobby player. Okay, lobby player. I'm going to add a prefab to it. Let's be simple. Network, not a prefab, a component. I'm going to add a component to it. Here, network lobby player. Click. I add it to it. And how do I convert that to a prefab? I click and I drag it into the prefabs folder. Okay, and there it is, lobby player. Okay, and I delete it now here. Okay. That's it. Then we're going to do the next step. Okay, so what I did was I saved my original scene as a matchmaking game, and I deleted my matchmaking in there. We're going to load that scene. I create a new scene and I call it lobby. And in my build settings, I put first a lobby, then a matchmaking game. And I created an empty game object and added a network component to it. Which one? Lobby player. And I made a prefab by dragging the prefab folder and I deleted it in the scene. Okay, you're going to do that? Here it is. If you don't want to make the the lobby player, there's a prefab called simple lobby player, and you can use that. Yep.
You want us to delete the lobby player from the game scene? From the prefab?
Yes. There should be no lobby player in the scene. Okay. Just it's a prefab. Because we're gonna instantiate it.
There's a guy who made a prefab one, and he just went to Brazil to do a talk together. And he just took the talk on hand presence. I got talk Saturday about 3D building development. That's the environment one. And he did a talk on hand presence. Can I add a little bit to the talk on Saturday? Yes.
For the, is everybody okay? You want to continue? Okay, let's do that. If you didn't follow, it's your problem. Okay, the next step is, okay. I open my lobby scene here. So let's make sure I'm in the lobby scene. Okay. Now we're going to recreate the networking what we've done before, but we're going to do it for networking, with lobby. So it's really simple. Pay attention, and you're going to say, easy. I'm going to create an empty object, and again call it my game networking, add a component, and this time, network, instead of a network manager, tick, a network lobby manager. Click. Again, I want to see buttons. What will I add? Yeah, click. Network manager, heads up display. And here, no, it's easy. What's my lobby scene? My lobby scene, drag it in. If you drag it in and it doesn't drag it in, that means you didn't add it to your build settings. Okay. What's my gameplay? My play scene? My matchmaking game. Okay. What is my lobby player prefab? Well, here's my prefab. Okay. I'm going to drag and drop my player prefab, my lobby player in there. Make sense? Now, what's my game player prefab? My game player prefab. My tank. Okay, I open here now the spawn info. Random, we're going to change it to regular spawnable prefabs is the shell. Plus, and we drag and drop the shell in there. Okay. I'm going to save this. And look now. I press play. Ooh, matchmaking pops up. Enable matchmaking. Ooh, creating a match. Oh, not working. It says an error here. I can start it, but I will not be able to find friends. Okay, why is that? What's that? What's that? No, you tell me. Okay. Because it's a service, and we have to activate the service, and we have to activate the payment system. Okay, because you're using servers and you're going to use data. Okay, but of course, there's a Unity always releases a free tier that up to 100 players is for free, and after that, under 100 concurrent players it's for free, and then after that you have to pay. But we will fully activate the service because we want you to be able to fully test it, play it, and the free tier too. Okay? So first we're going to set up this, and then we're going to activate the service. Okay, and don't worry, your credit card will not be charged. You don't have to put it in. Okay. So what did I do? I created an empty game object called a Go again, and again added those two components on it, but this time at the lobby. Network lobby manager, network manager heads up display. Okay. Wait a second. Yeah. Come on. Okay, I can close it here. Okay. Then I can drag and drop the lobby in here scene, the play scene in here, my player prefab in there, and the lobby player, the tank, the round robin, and the shell. Okay, and here it is. You gonna do it? So you saw it will be ugly because we use on GUI, and we're gonna fix it in the mix very fast with something nice.
So the lobby player is the lobby player object that we created. The lobby player object is just basic. Create a game object and then make it a network.
Example of the network manager, the administrative network, yeah, but you choose the
I don't think it's an order.
the component.
Okay, you have to leave. Somebody has to leave this too. Okay. Okay, raise your hand who says continue. So everybody say let's go for beer, but no, no, just kidding. Okay, let's go. Is it on the other island? You okay? Okay, fantastic. Okay, now we're gonna activate the service, and after that we're gonna make it beautiful. Like we're gonna replace all the GUI with something beautiful. Okay, and after that it's the networking to shoot each other. Okay. How do we activate the services? Here you see account, and you have to be signed in. I'm not signed in. Holy smokes. So I'm going to sign in into my account. Okay. You can all try one for my password, you're not going to find it. So, okay. And you know my email though, feel free to contact me. Okay? So, then there's here a little sign, the cloud. Okay? Are you going to click on cloud? In cloud, it says, okay, it will look a bit different from you. It will say activated or something like that, or create. I'm gonna say new link. Now you're gonna click your organization, and in my case, it's me here. Okay, then you create it. Okay. Okay. Now you're gonna see all the services from Unity. You're gonna want to integrate ads, analytics, cloud build, collab, performance reporting, in-app purchasing, multiplayer. All those services are available. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna integrate multiplayer. Click multiplayer. Click on it. Okay. No, we have to set it up, and I'm gonna go to the dashboard for that. Click dashboard, and hopefully it works. Come on, and hopefully it's not blocked. Is it could it be behind the server here or something? Or blocked? Okay, maybe you can try.
Click on the scope view.
Yeah.
Can you see? Does it work for you? So you go and make sure your account is logged in, and you go to services and then configure everything for multiplayer. But for me, it's not showing up here.
I got the U one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, it works on my Chrome. Huh. Okay, and then I can explain it. Yeah, it works. Whew. Okay. Then here I can say what is the maximum players per room, and I can say yeah. What's that?
32.
So I'm gonna set 2 because right now the game is set up. It's right now set up for 2 people basically. And when you shoot one, the other one loses. We're gonna see that all. Okay. Press save. Okay. Okay. Now maximum. So there's no. I don't use anything. Okay. And here say the active live mode is off. Now I can activate it. I can say, and this is the beauty of multiplayer now. It works right away with desktop, mobile, console. So when you make it one time, it works for all those ones. Now console, of course, the matchmaking becomes a little bit complicated because you have to use, for instance, for Xbox, the Xbox matchmaking. Okay. But if you have like a mobile game that you make and you want to do multiplayer, that works. It could be an iOS Android device or you want to run it on your PC. It all works. Okay. And then I can type in here, like I say, I'm going to do 50, okay, messages per seconds. And then you can look at the advanced there, things like that. I don't know, okay. And then it gives you an estimate how much that will cost you game. Okay, and then you can say yes, but it will not charge anything. Yeah, so that is not working. Okay, I don't know why. Okay. No, let me show you this. Oh, did I save? Okay. So, let's play. Now I can do here, enable matchmaking, create a match. Okay. I'm going to do a built-in run. Okay. Let's play. Let's play here. Okay, this is using OnGUI. If you love OnGUI, you have a problem in life. Okay. So I can do host a LAN here. No, stop it. I mean, enable matchmaking and do. And you're going to find other players, match other players. The room, I can call it, and let's say Hawaii. You're going to create this match. Okay? No here. Maybe this one is in Paris. Okay? So enable matchmaking. I'm gonna find an internet match and I look for that game. Woohoo! I find Hawaii. Join it. Now I'm gonna wait until the player is ready here. Should be very soon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the player is now ready. Start. And here start too. And now we can play this game from different locations in the world. Okay, the UI and the UI is very ugly and not good, but we're gonna change that very fast. So you see how easy it is to create matchmaking games. Okay, so I'm gonna recap what I did. Okay, I go to my account, sign in, click on cloud, go to my dashboard, and then follow the instruction there to say you're gonna use 3 or 4 people, and that should work. Okay, you gonna do that?
Yes.
And then we're gonna change it all to nice buttons. Oh, no, don't worry.
You don't lose any intellectual property rights, but you do sign away your right to sue.
Just put in your credit card number, your social security number, any address, any bank account. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, don't go
Allow
over.
me to submit the request to the players.
What's that? Yeah, it's probably asking strange questions sometimes because.
So I got to this point.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
Oh, no. This is because don't worry about it. It will fully work. This is because you need a pro license for this. If you want to go like over 100 players.
Oh, it's because we haven't changed the numbers yet.
Yeah, but this is when you don't want to pay. If you go just like this, and you do the save the free version, they don't let you go over it. So it will work.
So now I can take this and make it work.
Yes.
also,
He's saying that if you change these to
server
acceptable numbers, eventually it'll let us. Maybe it's this one.
Change to 20.
Yeah. It's the same error, right?
Still says.
And then you go to automatically move to the service. I'm gonna have to ask what it is.
I just went back to services and it added a photo again. And so I skip it.
Yeah, then the yellow button to skip it, yes. So here I get new project created, but unable to.
Yeah, I'm getting
I get that.
It's
Is it because it's cheaper? See if it works if you do built-in run.
Someone we should do that because like it won't take 5 minutes.
So I left also on the board. That's a link you can fill in, a survey. Because I know some people have to leave, but you can wait until the end. There is a survey to fill in how you like this workshop. And then automatically it picks a winner for Unity Pro license. And then all the people who fill in, they also in a few days the link to download all the content. Like I can show you what I actually made. I'm going to show you here. So here is a movie file. It's a 1 hour long. You see, and I take you through everything in the project with. Yeah, it's all recorded. So when you press play, see, like we fully explained it. Okay. Also, we fully own the rights to all the artwork, so you can use it commercially or in an educational institute and do what you want with it. Okay.
Whoa, this is an extra feature. It took start on one. It's more features. That's a. Looks like
Does it work for some people, the networking?
Yeah.
We were getting confused because this live active live mode thing is like just an extra feature, it looks like, that's approved, so we can
Yes.
just ignore it.
Yes.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, okay. So make sure you put in the config now. You have Pro or something? No. Who has Pro? Nobody?
Yeah, probably.
None of them works. I don't care.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that you can only have one license of each one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can imagine if I was like at home at night.
But it may start.
Somewhere.
You want to continue? Want to wait a few minutes? For Hiro, does it work, everything?
It works for me, but Andy, he cannot select organization, even though he can see in his settings that he does have an assigned organization with his name.
Oh yeah, yes. Make sure you do that.
But it does appear in his settings page that he has it. But when he's in the services tab, and it says select organization, it doesn't offer him the choice, even though he's logged in.
It also says in red, you do not have permissions for this action.
Huh? Why would that be?
Yeah, so it's denying me.
You must have been a bad boy.
I did have to reactivate a Unity license from a few years ago. So I don't know, maybe. It's unhappy has been gone for a while.
I could not know why. Maybe restart one. Yeah, restart one's Unity and see what it does.
So, why are you seeing guitar? Because I will have to share the build of my project to someone else.
Yes. Yeah, it has to be the exact same build. Yes. Because each build has a unique number.
Yeah, I imagine that was that. Okay, so it looks at that number and that's how it matters.
Where are you from?
Spain.
Where?
Asturias in the north. I was living in Madrid for a long time.
I went to a short time to school in Salamanca.
You like the how far it's a nice city.
Yeah. But I've been like 50 times or between 50 and 70 times to Spain.
It's a nice country.
Yeah.
It's not difficult to work now.
I've been several times also to Portubanos. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. In the summer,
Yeah, but we went multiple times in the winter. That was still really nice.
Yeah.
We don't have the crazy tourists. Yeah.
People are in the office told this person for this already. It starts. Doesn't give the other person an opportunity.
What are you saying? What are you talking about? Bad stuff.
So it's gonna no, I'm gonna go over that.
So back in the
Okay, you wanna continue?
So just from the Hilo side, when you switched over to Chrome, we lost your screen share.
Oh, did I close Chrome?
I believe so.
Oh, wait a second, eh? It's my fault, I'm very sorry about that. I closed my Safari. Okay, let me, click here. Yeah, sorry, gonna do that later. What's it called? Google, hang on, see?
So it's still forced you to still have to start from no.
Couldn't scale. Couldn't scale?
Sorry about that, Guido.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
Okay, the moment you're in, continue. Okay, you see my screen? You see my screen? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. When I press play, this looks ugly. You want to have something nice. But I want to be lazy. What do?
Copy paste somewhere else.
How do you do that?
The assets.
The asset store, exactly. Okay, so I'm going to show you, but I downloaded it already in the project, so you don't have to download it. Window, asset store, okay. And I'm going to type in lobby, okay. Godverdomme. Window, asset store. I'm going to maximize this. I'm going to type in lobby.
The UI sucks. It's basically the problem. You could start.
And then when you type in lobby, you're going to see this network lobby. Okay. And there, network lobby. And that is a very nice lobby DOM with an existing game in there. And you can look at that game too. Okay. And here you see some images from the multiplayer, from the lobby. Beautiful DOM. Okay, I have it already imported. I'm going to show you the power of all this. Why? Okay. But later on, this will not be an asset store package. This will be here, assets, import a package, and it will be lobby here. You're working on that. Okay. Now here you have a folder, sample scenes. I open that, and I have a scene here, network lobby, and a spaceship. Because it's a little spaceship game. When I press play here, here on top I have the matchmaking, and below I have the local host. Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to use that lobby. Look here. I have the scene here, network lobby. Here I have the lobby manager. And I'm going to start to change everything. Look here. What is my lobby scene? Which one is it?
Lobby.
This one, eh? This network lobby. The same one. I cannot drag it in. It's on the build settings. Exactly. Why do I come to Hawaii? You know it already. But please keep inviting me. Okay. So now I'm going to drag and drop the network lobby in here. I'm gonna delete this lobby, and my matchmaking game, I'm gonna put it below it. See? My matchmaking game below. I'm gonna move it up. Oh yeah, see, it works. Okay. So this scene is my networking lobby now, maybe my old lobby, and I'm gonna use it. Matchmaking. Okay, now here look, it's pretty cool. I drag and drop my networking lobby in here. Then I go to my scenes folder, now here to my assets, and I'm gonna drag and drop my play scene in there, my matchmaking game. Okay. Minimum players I need. Well, I'm gonna say minimum 2 players to start the game. What is my lobby player prefab? Do not change that one. Do not change that one. What did I say? Okay, because that one, what happens in that one, it was exactly the same as mine, but they override the script with some more information. You're going to see that later. Okay. The player prefab is not my spaceship, it's my tank. So I'm going to drag and drop my tank in there. Okay, now it's really a bit confusing. You open here spawn info, and it says here again, player prefab. This is wrong coding. That should have been removed. They forgot to remove that slot. Okay, don't worry. Okay, the player method, round robin. And what is my register spawnable prefab? My shell. There it is. Okay. Save scene. Built-in run. Okay. Sorry, my microphone coughing was not good. Let's play. Okay, look now. This is a nice lobby where we can customize. I'm going to show everything how to customize. Let's play. So I can do matchmaking, or I can do manual connection. Manual connection goes faster here. So player 1, I can call it blah 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 blah. Change the color. And you see, waiting for players because we need minimum 2 players to start the game. Okay, here there's one also. Join. I found it here. Player 2, join. I'm going to join. I'm ready. Yeah. Starting the match in 1, 2, 3. What did I do wrong? Where's that wrong idea? Okay, I'm going to find. What did I do wrong? Okay, quit. Did I save my scene? Okay, save my scene. So my lobby player has, yes, I have the networking lobby. This one, yes. The matchmaking game, yes. Okay, I have the thing ready. The shell. Ah, this one, the lobby hook. That has to be removed. That script. Remove component, but that should not do problems, I think. Okay, let me do it again. File built-in run. Because the lobby hook, we're gonna explain that. I think that was a problem. Display. Display. Play in host. Join. 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 Okay, now it works. Because the lobby hook, and we can explain that. So now I can start to shoot here. Eh? Woo-hoo-hoo. Pretty cool, eh? Okay. But we cannot kill each other yet. That's the next step. Okay. No, not the next step, the third. And 2 steps. Okay. What is the beauty of this lobby here too? Look this. It fully works with all the different ratios. Okay. What's also beautiful, I can open this and I can start to rename and change the colors and move everything around. It's the UI, the new UI in Unity. Look, say the network lobby here. Look, I can call it here Hawaii game. Okay. But I said I want this a bit maybe. I want this different color, or I want to move it. Then you can all change those colors. Okay, or the buttons here, move. Yeah, you can move that button, you can all change it what you want to create your own layout structure there. Pretty cool, eh? Okay. Now what you also saw is here that when I cleared it here, that I could pick colors and a name. And we're gonna see how we can connect those colors and those names with my tag. How can I put, if I put green here or red, that my tag becomes red. That's the next step we're gonna do. So first I'm gonna recap what I did here to make that nice lobby player. I opened the scene in the sample scenes folder, the scene, network lobby. Okay. In the build settings, I put that as my lobby now. Next time I will come over to your campus too.
Okay.
I would love to do that. I love the big island. I should. That's good.
Do you see these things? Oh, you replace it with how you place it. So, this, because it's making the sample scenes,
Oh, it must use that.
that is that, and it's called. Okay, did you get the link to film the show? Yeah, was that okay? Thank you so much.
I see it, yeah.
Then we need to, you can reuse that. So they can ask, okay, I want my name. All those other things.
Okay, so I'm gonna put that into my.
Yes, correct.
And then,
What's that? They changed it. The box. They're gonna change it all. I don't know. You buy plus, no, you buy, you get more, you get customize, but if you buy plus, you get semi-customize. So, no, you can put an image in it, but a version of it, so it's the same kind of thing, the logo in there. Yeah. So you can use the one I'm taking, but just with the local host, it says play host, and you can say join it. So this server is going to match me. And now you can say join and join. So I have my Oh, you have it here, yes, actually here.
yeah.
This one. So we're going to take the
Layer.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost track.
No. Everything works?
I see you still have the tank.
Yeah. That's the lobby scene. Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, yeah, I think there's a minimum.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Yeah, but
Okay.
oh, but you can obviously, they're gonna give a certain image. Whole project. It's a movie found me.
Oh, that'd be good.
Because I think I implement the network
They need samples on it.
Oh,
Make sense?
and for the website, then the one that the USB
Oh, wait, for the survey?
for the one that you told me is in something, right?
That's for the survey. The link I gave you was for the survey. I will give it again.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, don't worry.
Except now I can't leave.
Where's the start button?
Join.
Oh, okay. When the server person joins, that means it's start. What?
You said you were ready.
Oh, yeah. I did join on the other screen as well.
Okay, in a few minutes we're gonna do 1 minute. We're gonna do more. Or who wants to continue?
Yeah.
Everybody says. Who says wait? It's $500. Okay. Need some help? Okay. The next step is a lobby hook. I'm gonna explain it that. A lobby hook is look here. You saw when I pressed play, my players could pick a color here. They could pick a color. You want to be able to send that information from the lobby to the scene. We call it a hook, a lobby hook. From the lobby, I set a hook with the scene. But you can also send information back if you want. And that's the beauty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that color, send it over to my scene, and attach it to a material for my tank. Okay? Now, we're also going to discuss this. You saw we use components to sync transformation, for instance. You can use a component to sync state machines. But what do you have to sync different things, such as a color, as a boolean, an integer, anything you want. You can also sync that. And we're going to sync that color over the whole network. I'm going to show you how that works. Okay. I'm going to go here to my lobby manager. I'm going to add a component. No, first I'm going to go to my prefab tank. Tank. I'm going to add a component. Script. Tank color. Now here. And make a variable for my color. Huh? Okay. Now, what I'm going to do on start, I'm going to find all the components, the measure components from the tank. I'm going to find all the children, because the guy who modeled this tank was not the smartest one. He modeled that tank in all different pieces with different materials. In production, you're fired. Now, so I look Manoa, and what I do, I give the color here, the variable color to the material. Okay. But here you see the word SyncVar. What is a SyncVar? It's a very powerful thing. At any given time, when that variable changes, it automatically syncs over the whole network. Automatically. No, you have to be cautious about that, because that variable syncs 30 frames a second. So, if you would put there 30 sync variables in it, you're gonna start to send some data. So that's why I try to only use sync variables in a function start or in a trigger, so I don't send that all the time. Make sense? So, now what I do, I have to send the hook from the lobby to the tank. Here, I'm gonna add a component, network. No, not network. Script. And the script is tank color hook. It's a really simple script. So you can see the function is a very common name on lobby server scene loaded for player. Let's see. If the lobby is there, send the information to the loaded scene. And what I'm doing here is really simple. Look here. For my player my player has a color. And my lobby player, they get the component and give that, and get the component of my lobby player and give the color of my lobby player to the color of my tank. My color of my tank sends it to the material, and then the sync variable will send it to the network. Okay? So that's pretty easy. The only thing you have to do is you're going to go to your lobby manager, you're going to add the script tank color hook, you're going to go to your prefab, the tank, and you're going to add the script color, tank color to it. And you see here, it's a sync variable. Okay? I'm going to give you PowerPoint here. How we do it. Okay. Whew. Okay. And then after that, we're going to be able to shoot each other. Oh.
Just draw
for everybody? Yeah? Anybody has a question? $10. Okay, let's continue. It's really simple now. How do we shoot each other? Woohoo! Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go to my tank. And I'm gonna add a component. Script. Tank health. Okay. And I'm gonna go to my open my tank health. Okay. And what else I have here? Okay, I'm gonna explain this now. Okay, here. So if my shell is shot and it collides, okay, if it collides with something, you're gonna have to say the shell is live. It's live. Okay, it's live. Okay. Then when I collide with something, hide the shell. Okay. Show the explosion particles. Okay. No. If it's not the server, the code doesn't need it. Okay. If it's not the server, then return, because I'm gonna only run everything with tracking it on the server. So let's avoid cheating. Okay. So if the shell can kill, I'm gonna say if it can kill and it hits with a player, because I have a boolean on the shell can kill. I'm gonna activate that one. If it hits with a player, then here go to the health script and take 1 damage. Here my health script basically is this now. Remember, it's also in network behavior here. I have 3 health. Take damage. Okay. I'm only gonna run the damage on the server. Okay. Because the damage will only be calculated on the server. This prevent a hacker client from cheating. Okay. Also, if the tank is already dead, no need to return this code anymore. I take damage 1. If it's less than 0, I put it to 0. But here what I do is an RPC die, and here invoke back to lobby. Back to lobby is going back to the lobby after 3 seconds. Okay. But here RPC die. This is a client RPC. Okay. That means the server will send then the message to the local client. Okay. And what he will send here in, we're gonna look for a text. I made a prefab of a UI with a text in there. And if you won, it's you won. If you lost, it's game over. No, the best way to do this is just to put in Carl, you won, because we know hard-coded always win. Okay. And then here back to lobby is going back to the lobby. Okay. Now what I have to do is here. So what I did is on my tank I added the script tank health. On my prefab the shell, I'm gonna say here can kill. And in my scene for my game itself, save. I need a UI with a text, and I made a prefab for that. Okay, so I have here in my prefabs UI canvas, and I drag and drop in there. And a UI canvas here is a regular canvas with a text in there, so I can populate there you won or you lost. Okay, then I put a specific font on it and a specific color. So let's test this now if it all works. Okay, file, build and run. Okay. Display. Display. I have the wrong scene open. sample scene, scenes. Lobby, display, hosts, join. And you're gonna see the colors going over and everything. No, I forgot. So you see now the colors, okay? And I shoot. Ah. 1. Ah. 2. 3. No, one more. And see, I won as usual and you lost. Okay, we know that. So that's it. Super simple. And now you can actually send the information of shooting to each other. Make sense? Yeah? So what I did, re-show it a bit. I went to my prefab tank. No, to my shell. I put it here to my shell can kill. And what else did I do?
You added the text to your.
Yeah, I added UI canvas to my scene on my other scene. And on my tank, I added the script tank held. Yeah. Okay. There it is. Whew. I'm gonna fall asleep. Was it interesting? So we're gonna see. I know what you can do is actually you can build your game and give that installation to somebody else, and then you can play against each other. And you have to give the build to somebody else because Ace build is a unique build. Okay? Now we can see who then wins. You will see it will be me. Who was happy they came to here? And who was unhappy? They didn't tell me. Was that?
Where's the UI canvas?
The canvas UI and prefabs,
Oh, not my
prefabs, and then UI canvas. Okay, I'm gonna give you my, so there's one more little step and we can do it, but I prefer that you get the movie file and do it yourself. Okay. So here is the survey you can fill in about this event from today. This is my name, my email, if you don't know what an email is. You can always email me for questions you have, technical questions you have, or things you want to know. Also, if you make a game, please let me know, so that hey, it's really cool. I like to see it. You can always follow me on Twitter and on Facebook and LinkedIn. I also want to remember we have a big event coming up in 2 months in Los Angeles called Unite. Who has ever heard of Unite? Okay. Let me know if you go. I can always do something then. Is there anybody planning to go? No? You should go, man. It's so awesome. Yeah. But also in February, you're going to have Vision Summit. That's our big VR summit. And I think it's in SF or in LA. I forget now where we're going to be. But please stay in touch with me. Okay? If you fill in the survey, you're going to get a movie file from all the presentation, pre-recorded, with the same scene that you have today, step by step explaining, and also it will explain a little bit more. It will explain the last step, how we convert it in 1 script and 2 scripts. Then you can list. That's really simple here. I can show you here. It's really simple. It's only 3 steps you have to do. And in the script and the movie file, we explain very in depth how we change to matchmaking. What does that mean? How can you store a list of all your players that come in? And basically it's last tank standing then. How do you cut the list of if somebody shoots you? It's a very simple script, but I encourage you to do it for yourself. And in that way you're going to watch the movie file and make it yourself again. Okay. But I want to really thank you to come out. And I will be here around until 5 o'clock for questions too, if you have questions on anything you want to think. And if you want to show your game, please, I would love to see it. So thank you so much, and a big thank you to the university to provide this location and invite us. It's always awesome.
Let's also thank Carl for all
Yes,
this.
thank you.
Any chance to come to Hawaii? You don't have to try to convince me. Yeah, I work with 6 years at the company, so I'm a long time there. But they know each year I go to Hawaii just for Unity. Yeah. And they like, always like everybody go, where are you going? And one of my previous managers said literally to me, if you can bring in 100 people in the trip in Hawaii, it's okay. I justify the trip. So I emailed all people around and I came in contact with Chris Lee. Hey, can you do something at the university? Yes, Carl. Can you bring in 100 people? Yes. So I had a whole justification to come to Hawaii. And every year I email Chris Lee and he sets it up. So big thank you to him. So, but I really hope you're going to make more games. And if you make something, please send it to us. If you have technical questions, email me. It's always, and I hope to see you Saturday for the VR game. I have the Oculus with me, and I bought a lot of games on the Oculus store. One night we got together with some friends and they kept using my credit card. Luckily the company paid for it. They said, no, it's research. Wow. So, what are your questions?
So today we used a prefabricated networking game matchmaker that was built by, or provided by Unity Cloud Services. Is it feasible to make something like that yourself and then create your own server? I know it's a lot more work. I know it's not easy.
If you want to make your fully owned networking, fully owned, it will take a long time.
No, I'm aware.
Yeah. You can do it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the real cool thing is this, what we've seen on the industry is, they use our networking APIs and build their own layers on top of that for really complicated things. We're also going to allow you soon, early next year, to have your own server.
Okay.
So you don't have to use Unity server.
That's what where I was headed with that.
Yes.
Will you provide a service, and is this going to be part of the pro version or part of the free version?
That's fully in the free version.
Okay.
So if you want to say, look, I don't want to use the matchmaking. No, the matchmaking thing is actually for free in Unity.
Okay. Yeah.
What's only you pay is actually the server. So we're gonna allow you in the free version also to run your own server, because we don't want to make money on the matchmaking. We only charge the cost. So if you pay no us or somebody else, or you help, I don't care what you do. So that's why we're gonna allow that too. Now what we also see is people start to run their own classes on top of that, and it's really funny. You might know we have a competition called Photon. Photon writes their own networking solution into Unity. Their new solution actually uses their own our APIs. So they're using our APIs to provide another matchmaking service. That's it. So, but we really have a roadmap to add a lot more things into networking, like also finding specific friends. That's what we're also working on.
Yeah.
In the tape controller, you use a fixed update to manage
Yeah.
the updates. I was under the impression that fixed update was primarily for things physical updates.
Yeah, so I use a fixed update because I'm using physics to drive the tank forward with the box physics.
Okay.
And also my fixed update runs only every second basically, versus a function update runs as much as possible. If I want to just don't have the update so running so fast, I use a fixed update. If I can do it, of course, if it allows me. Yeah.
So, actually, my physics question is not directly related to this. Are there ways to get like better physics simulations for things like joint chains without needing to like bump up solver iterations? Because I've been trying to procedurally generate joint chains and they're just
Two things. One, we wrote over physics not for realistic. We wrote it for games. We get those requests from Carl, I want to like joints or a bullet, shoot, and it has to be perfect. Sorry, we didn't write it. And writing a physics engine is not easy. No, joints, I worked on finger joints and solder joints and a bit of knee joints, and then the most complex things to ever simulate. Because a shoulder is not just one point, it has three rotation points, and it changes from where that rotation point is. So the moment I hear things like that, no, Unity will not be able to do that. Because this is really high in physics, and everybody simulates it at a certain time. They do it realistic, no. So I have to know the limits too. So yeah. What are your other questions?
We tested the tank thing, and I saw some lag, but we wanted to do like multiplayer VR. So
okay.
What would I see?
That's it. No, the shit that we really like on that game, VR is a whole different beast. Multiplayer. But two things. One, the future will be all multiplayer VR. When you look at PC games, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 80% was single player. Now, 80% of PC games are multiplayer. A little bit single player. That behavior will exactly be the same in VR, and it's a very good question, because my first question was in the company, when is multiplayer for VR really good? Because it's the most social thing that you can have. And the biggest complaint from people playing Gear VR, you know what the biggest complaint they get? Is their friends and their family complaining that they are away and they're not interacting anymore with them. So everybody is looking for that. With Unity, we have a dedicated person working on multiplayer solutions for VR better. Okay. You can use already, but you have to be, it's complicated more. You have to really think, because there's a lot of data flying back and forth. So, in 2 months, we're going to release a new tutorial, multiplayer VR. My team is working on it. They work with say about 15 people are working on it. Because you're going to really crank everything out. Now, what I've seen from multiplayer VR games is turn-based, tower defense game, things like that. Because that is doable for the data sending. So, yeah. But it's the holy grail, I can tell you. The first very good multiplayer VR games will be... Have you seen the Oculus multiplayer? It's in beta. It's not available. Have you seen the things?
Like Eagle and stuff, like Eagle Play and stuff like that.
Oh.
Watching, or what do you mean?
Yeah, Eagle Fight is good. Have you played Eagle Fight?
No, I watched it.
It's awesome to play. Very smart done with the fading and everything. But it's really good. But you don't have much data. But with Oculus, oh my god, they have a few demos that we played in their office. So I put it on, and somebody in Paris put the helmet on, and he's standing in the same scene, but you see his face. When you talk, the mouth is a bit moving, but that's enough for convincing that person is there. But you know what the weirdest thing is? Personal space. That person is totally in another different space. But the moment they come close to you, everybody like, whoa, don't come close to me. But totally not. And then in there, they made some awesome demos. And we played it. Ping pong. We had a virtual ping pong table in front of us. And literally, with the Oculus Connect, we were playing ping pong. It was so good. And then we had like a shooting game. And one shooting game was really funny. You shoot at a person and you hit the person became mini. And then you were playing a giant versus a little one. It was so good. And
wherever you shoot them, they get bigger or smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really good. So they're all working on it, and I think that will be that social aspect and in VR will be big. I've seen several companies working on multiplayer games on VR. It's awesome. Yeah, it's so interactive. I feel like a little kid in a candy store when I was little, and I played my first games. I was like, wow, I want to do that again. Any questions from the other island? No? You can always email me with your questions if you have any questions. Okay, well, I'm going to pat my back, go for a few miles running. No. No, I have a meeting with Facebook tonight. So Facebook is actually flying out from where? From SF. They come in actually Saturday also to the event. So yeah, we have a very close relationship.
Well, they own Oculus, so.
Yeah, that's crazy. Here's $2 billion. It's always no. But have you ever met or seen the guy who created Palmer Luckey? No. I've been out several times. He's an interesting character. It's amazing what he's done. It's unbelievable. The guy. Okay. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you. It's okay? Yeah, awesome.
No.
Yeah, only one, and I'm Saturday the other one. Okay. And then Saturday evening, you're gonna fight those four times. I really fun.
Oh, actually, Richard. Yeah, we should. I was wondering if there would just be the objects in space that should chase slow or would like hold.
I saw this
With a lot of objects that you're controlling. I mean, that's a lot of my laptop.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's not true.
All right, I just put it on.
Yeah, everybody can
Yeah.
buy it. I'm gonna make a game.
That's what I was thinking, like,
Saturday, I don't know. I think it starts at 10, but I will be early there.
yeah.
Want to show?
Well, no, no.
Oh, thank you
wouldn't
so
have to
much.
sync it the whole time. It's the same thing. You shoot the initial thing. I mean, each client will do it. They do their own. So, yeah. I mean, basically, it's the same thing. The only thing weird is doing something you're tracking is whether it's a game out. So the transfer, and then that's it. So I can imagine from the fast fighting, so I know like how the more you go under 30 second is.
Oh, wow, it's nice.
I went to check it out. Like, the thing that I found was like it's around 800.
Okay, so what I do? Okay, so
Okay.
okay, so this one, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of like
Yeah.
so tweaked out.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a great idea.
And then what I do here? Oh, okay, I get it. Ah!
So that's when you get that.
Ah, smart. And reward.
What's that?
Reward, so you get more time, more
Yeah, this is kind of a test project. Just to get a feel for the entire project.
because if you use the ads, the reward ads is so easy to integrate, then you can say, okay, once the ad, we get more time.
We keep going. Right, we're
Yeah.
I had contemplated that. It's just, at this point, I just want to like, ship it and go on to my next game. I didn't want to have much better ideas, but I didn't want to waste it.
Now finish it and put it because you never know. It's true.
Things take off, it's alright, man.
That looks really cool.
Thank you.
That's what makes money. Those games.
Yeah, it's, you know,
Shoot.
you just don't want to get your score out. Like, how
Yeah, and then look,
you just want to try and beat your own out.
a lot of companies what they do is they come on one after game like that, and then they see which one hits, has revenue, and then they work on
And
that.
that one gets all the attention. Yeah. Just one of those
Like Angry Birds, it was a 51 game.
yeah.
They had 50 games who didn't make any money before that.
Yeah. No, if this brings in some revenue, great. If not, we're learning.
Yeah. That's how I started too.
Yeah.
But I worked first in AAA games, and I could not do anything on my own because I asked Valve. I worked for them like for a year old contract work. Valve, and I asked them, can I have you use your engine? Well, yeah, $100,000 and 70% royalty.
Whoa.
And then when Unity came out, oh, this works. And I made all little tiny little games, and I figured make no little money out of that. And I have literally stupid games on the App Store still running with ads, and they still make money. And I have sometimes them for 5-6 years.
Really? So yeah, I feel like that's what's going to be the case here. It's like I'm never going to update this. They
No.
one good.
I have
never touched
I have never touched it, but it still makes me between sometimes $20, sometimes $200, $50. I have never touched it. And that's so funny because on the end of the year, I go buy always a very nice model of $1,000 for myself, based on my ass. I never do something.
Free money, right?
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I attended your first workshop they did here in Honolulu.
Oh, yes.
School a few years back.
Oh, wow.
You did the Yeti setup.
Oh, yeah.
And, now that I'm taking this